successful so far. A few thank yous, a list of thank yous which I will read out, and then I'm going to ask our guest speaker to say a few words. So I particularly want to thank Lucy Purvis and the Department of Shartin School, Shartin College, which have done all the artwork over there. But Lucy has been a tremendous supporter and a collaborator with us over many months. I'd like to thank Emma Lau and the art department of Elsa High School and the Elsa Grade 10 students for their wonderful artwork. We've had quite a few volunteer translators who've helped us. Brenda, Michelle Sun, Leanne Poe, Glenn Steinman, and especially Christine Chang. Thank you very much for all the Chinese translations you see around here. We'd like to thank His Excellency, the Consul General from the Czech Republic, for his continued support and for giving us the contact we needed with the people in Prague to help us with the Theresian prints behind us. And Matthew Law at the URA, who has guided our application and helped us with the space here. And finally, David Kosmin, whose microphone we are borrowing. Thank you all for your help. With no further ado, I'd like to ask His Excellency, the Consul General from the State of Israel, Sagi Khani, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Just a few words, because we've seen hard work by children from Theresian or Theresienstadt. Theresian or Theresienstadt was not a concentration camp. It was a special ghetto, as you know, a model ghetto, a showcase by the Germans. And throughout the war, more than 155 Jews passed through Theresian. 35,400 died just there, and more than 88,000 were sent from Theresienstadt to Auschwitz and perished there. There are many lessons to learn from the horror of the Holocaust, and I want to remind you of words by Elie Wiesel, a famous writer, humanist, Holocaust survival, and also a Nobel laureate. And Elie said, "I decided to devote my life to telling the story because I felt that having survived, I owe something to the dead. And anyone who does not remember betrays them again." Well, indeed, there are many lessons that we can and must draw from the horror. One is indeed the need to remember and never forget. Another is the need to educate. Education for tolerance and universal values. We need to promote and support universal humanitarian values, and we have an obligation to do so wherever we are. But we also need to remember that the Red Cross visited Theresian in June 1944, in fact in June 23rd, 1944, and documented the camp, including numerous photos. Well, they were duped by the Germans. After the visit, most of the so-called actors and most of the children of the ghetto were sent to the gas chambers in Auschwitz. And therefore the slogan, "Never Again," was molded into a strong and tough state of Israel, for we will never be subjected to others people's mercy. Never again. By that I would like to thank each one of you who came to be with us in this ceremony, and special appreciation to the steering committee of the Hong Kong Holocaust and Tolerance Center, Jeremy, Nicole, April, and all the others who helped. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Your Excellency. Now I'd like to call upon, it's a great honor to do so, to Kimberly Mann, who is visiting from the UN, from the United States. She is the director of the Holocaust and United Nations Outreach Program, which is a United Nations official body that devotes itself to Holocaust education. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody, excellencies, members of the Hong Kong Holocaust and Tolerance Center Board, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a great honor to be here tonight. I think it's an incredible exhibition. It's one of the best exhibitions I've seen on children in the Holocaust. You may know that in 2005, the United Nations adopted a resolution on Holocaust remembrance and education in order to help prevent genocide. So we're working today with 63 UN information offices around the world to try to encourage remembrance of the victims and education. And we don't just focus on the basic facts of the Holocaust, which of course are very important, but we're looking at the underlying causes of genocide and the values that we think are important to instill in our children, like compassion, social responsibility, and moral leadership. So I'm very, very honored to be here with all of you. I've spoken to students today at 2 schools in Hong Kong, Li Po Chung College and the French International School. And I want to congratulate all of you who took part in this wonderful exhibition. And hopefully one day, in the very near future, we can welcome you to New York. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you, Kimberly. Okay, before we finish, 2 of the kids who've done artwork are going to give us a very short explanation of what they were thinking. I think the first is Heather. This is Heather Chu from Sha Tin College.
The terrible tragedy of the Holocaust is one of the issues that must be acknowledged and marked in world history. In philosophy and religious studies, we've learned that the Holocaust wasn't just about a brutal genocide, but the bystanders and the righteous who risked their lives to save the Jewish people. This tragic event should be acknowledged and learned about because it can allow us to understand the ramifications and potential dangers of stereotypes, prejudice, and racism in societies, allowing us to develop an acceptance for diversity and understand the consequences for remaining apathetic or indifferent to others' oppression. In order to commemorate the misfortunes of those who suffered during the Holocaust, we were set a task to create a Holocaust memorial. We had to come up with a memorial of any form with just one requirement: for it to be effective. It had to be powerful yet respectful to those who've suffered and be able to educate and explain to others the significance of the Holocaust and the dangers of stereotypes and prejudice and the need for it to be challenged. Thank you.
Thank you very much, wonderful. And finally, from Elsa High School, Sarah Davidson will say a few words.
In art this year, we started off the curriculum by doing this piece on the Holocaust. Each of us had to choose a location in the Holocaust that was meaningful to us. For me, I chose the gate to Auschwitz, mainly because the words at the front really made an impact on me. These words translate to "work sets you free." And when I saw those words, I really thought about how the look in people's eyes when they saw it as they entered Auschwitz, and the irony of it, and how they came in with hope and left, or if they left, without it. It was a privilege on behalf of my entire year at ELSA to do this artwork, and that you can all see it, so thank you.
Thank you very much. The kids, I think it really tells a great story when you hear it from 2 kids of that age, so thank you very much indeed to both of you. And thanks everyone for coming this evening. Thanks to the schools again for doing their artwork, and please, at your leisure, look at the pictures and look at the exhibit, and please, this is open 24/7 for the next 3 weeks, so come back any other time you wish to. And if anyone is dying of thirst, I think we have some bottles of water if people are suffering in the heat. Thank you very much indeed, and have a lovely evening.